Okay, what I wanted to do today is a lot of us are working from home. So I just thought, why not show some quick exercises to free up these muscles, the back, the glutes, the legs, because these are the most overactive muscles. Considering now that we sit in one place for the longest time. And so I basically chose these three exercises. In all, there are six, but three focusing on the back, the lumbar spine especially, which is the lower back, and the glutes. If you have a chair with you, it would be nice if you can get it along right now. So we can try some of these exercises together. Try and have a pillow to support the glutes. And the second most important thing I feel has to be there is a pillow to support the back. Okay, I also made some little notes because I don't remember, it's been a long time that I've studied stuff. These exercises you can do perhaps once or twice in a day, that's completely up to you. Whenever you feel like releasing these overactive muscles, you should go for it. One of the simplest stretches of all the six is extending your leg. Always try and remember that keep the back straight and only flex or extend to an extent where you're feeling the tension in the muscle and not feeling pain. If you're feeling pain, that means you're overextending it or hyperflexing it, and that is a cause of concern. So a simple leg extension which works right from your glutes to your hams to your quads, and you can also point the toes. This is something that dancers do to stretch the leg. And this is something you can either hold for 30 seconds and then switch on to the other leg, or you can also bring in some sort of mobility, but try and keep it as controlled as possible. It's not something where you keep propping your leg. It's a controlled action, so that way you ensure that you're actually working on the muscles and giving them enough time to stretch and relax. If you do it right now with me, you'll probably feel some sort of tension here in the leg, in the back side of the leg, which is called as the hamstrings. You will also feel a little bit of tension here, which is the quadriceps, the quads. Keep this thing stable rested on the chair, on the edge of the chair. And you can actually feel the tension goes right up to the glutes. So this is one of the simple stretches that I have. The other is an extension to this, or rather it's an evolution to this, where instead of stretching the leg straight or extending it straight by locking the knee, we are flexing the knee here, bringing it up all the way and holding it close to the chest. This way, you're stretching the glutes as well as the ham, and you can hold this for say 30 seconds for each leg, and then release it, and then move on to the other leg. And the last exercise that I want to show for stretching your glutes and hams, because again, the most overactive muscles when you're sitting in one place for the longest time, it's called the piriformis stretch. Very simple. That you take one leg on top of the other and let me sit. Okay. Now, for a lot of you guys, your muscles may not be as flexible as mine, so it may not actually look perpendicular, like a right angle right now. It might look like this. Try and push it down a little. Try to push the leg down, but only as long as you feel the tension. Don't overdo it. Don't try to get into the zone of pain when you push this down. Maybe you can hold the chair for the support and just try and bend down. Remember that you keep the back straight. Always important to keep the back straight. As you bend, you're going to feel a lot of tension here. And you're going to stretch the muscles at the back of the leg and the glutes. There are again two ways of it. You can either hold the stretch for 30 seconds, or you can sort of bring in a controlled mobility to it, where you sort of go down, up. The same goes with the other leg. Keep this low, get down, and up. So these are the three exercises that, or rather the three stretches that I have for the lower body especially. Let's do a quick recap. Extending the leg, you begin by, so this is a move that if you're using a table and you're sitting on a chair and you have the laptop in front of you, you can do this even while sitting, while working, you know. Just hold the stretch, or as I said, you can have controlled mobility to it. There is no particular rhythm to this, just identify the rhythm with the rhythm of your body. You know, whatever feels comfortable. The key is in whatever feels comfortable to you. Second is a knee to chest stretch. Switch it to the other leg. And the last and the third one is called, I forgot the name again. But it's basically like crisscrossing, taking one leg on top of the other and creating a right angle. And keeping the back straight and then slightly bending the back. Okay? When you do this, you'll automatically feel a stretch in your leg and in the glutes. Switch over to the other side and do the same. Awesome. Now I want to move on to three basic exercises for the back. That's called the cat-cow pose or the child's pose, where you do it on the floor. But basically the move, something looks like this, that you're on the floor, the child pose. This same concept we're going to apply here if you're doing this with me. So pull in the belly and get into the child's pose, and then hyperextend it. Yeah. Hyperextend the shoulders, your chest, and then again go back. Again, now you can either hold each of these moves for 30 seconds or you can bring in a controlled mobility. This is really good. The second stretch that I want to show is called the QL stretch. The QL muscle is basically this, the obliques on the sides. And it's basically extending the sides, you know, sitting in one place. These happen to be the most ignored muscles when it comes to stretching. Even if you're going to the gym or going to a group activity class. I don't see a lot of instructors do this, but it would be nice if you can stretch these muscles out at home. Very easy. You can either hold the side of the chair, like the bottom of the edge, hold it. So it's all about restricting the bend on one side and letting the bend freely flow from the other side. And to achieve that, we're going to raise one hand and bend it on the other side. So hold it here and just like bend. Remember, it's not about going all the way down. It's about controlling the movement and opposing it or restricting it from the other side. Okay? So extend the hand. Make sure you're in the zone of tension and not in the zone of pain. So as long as you feel tension, you're doing great. You're doing it correctly. The same on the other side. Now here's a little trick which I do in my Zoom classes. I usually ask my members to support on one side, by tucking in the elbow and then hyperextending this. The other side. You may also use this trick. And it definitely works if you have like an armrest on your chair. So you can tuck in the elbow and use the armrest for support and stretch it out. The third one is my most favorite stretch, which is what I definitely do this every time I wake up in the morning because I have a really bad back. It's called the trunk rotation. Trunk, torso, rotation. Very simple. If you have armrest, just grab onto it and try and twist your spine. And same on the other side. If you don't have an armrest, you can get help with the backrest and try and twist the spine. I'm sure definitely now you will hear a lot of knots opening up in your back. And same on the other side. Try to twist it. Another easier way of doing this is sometimes you're probably sitting on the bed and you may not have anything to rest your back on or to hold for support. This is how I do it when I'm sitting on the bed. I take the opposite hand. I, restrict the opposite leg, the movement of the opposite leg. And I open up the other arm and I just twist. Twist, and I try to twist as much as possible. The same on the other side. Twist. Ha. So those are my three stretches for the lower back, which is called the lumbar spine. If you want me to do a quick recap, here they are. The first is the modification to cat-cow pose, where you hyperextend the back. You create an arch as much as possible, and then you hyperextend the chest with the shoulders pulling back as much as possible. Go in and out. Okay. The second is the QL stretch, which is stretching the sides, the obliques. Like I said, you can also support one side with your elbow and stretch on the other side. And the last is called the trunk rotation, which is basically you're twisting your spine. Therefore, you can either make use of the armrest or the backrest of the chair, or you can make use of your leg. There you go. So yeah, that's all I have. Those are my 6 stretches, 3 for the back, lower back, and 3 for the lower bottom.